Here we go. Offered a security job at Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria. Okay, it's not that glamorous. I'm just basically playing the nighttime security guard in a pizzeria restaurant. What? Why do we need security in a pizzeria restaurant? Who hires? Did Chuck E. Cheese have security? Maybe. Did it have nighttime security? Possibly. In all due honesty, though, Five Nights at Freddy's is a video game series created by one Scott Coffin. I think that's the way you pronounce his last name. I haven't really paid attention too awfully much, but yeah. What compelled him to create such a popular series? This. It's up on screen right now. Apparently that's what it did. Yep. Yep. That's it. Now, a lot of people complain that the Chipper and Son characters are, creepy. And so Scott was like, hey, let me show you something real creepy instead. And Five Nights at Freddy's was created. Alright, cool. I'm going to try and make this as short as possible, since you're mostly in a static room doing very static motions and things. So, yeah, without further ado, let's take on Freddy Fazbear! So let's start with the plot, or lack thereof. You're just a security guard running the 8 to 10, except it's midnight to 6. And realistically, there's not much plot. You get a little bit of background story here and there about the Bite of 87, where the animatronics used to be able to go around during the daytime until they crushed somebody's head. Or bit off somebody's lobe. It's not very clear, but, you know, it's there. And you don't want the animatronics in your office because there's some type of glitched program where they might think you're a naked endoskeleton and cram you into a FNAF suit, which would kill you. Naturally. There might be a bit of a haunting here, but you don't really get that feeling unless, of course, you dig a little deeper. Now, digging deeper requires the secrets and side quests, which I'm going to talk about later, but there's definitely a bit more detail than the main story lets on. That's just information that you get from the phone guy, who is probably dead at this point. So, with that out of the way, let's take a look at the characters you got. So, your character, Mike Schmidt, doesn't really develop. He's probably some guy named William Afton or something like that, but that's beside the point. Let's not get into too many theories around here. The other characters that you're going to meet are Phone Guy, who is just a corporate guy until about the time he dies on the phone from somebody, I'm not sure who. And then you have characters like, oh, I don't know, the animatronics that are currently trying to kill you. Oh yeah, there's plenty of that. You have Bonnie, who likes to creep up in your office pretty frequently. Chica, who likes to linger on a lot longer. Foxy, who just barges in if you're not watching the prima donna. And Freddy, who likes to travel in the dark. To the point where it's kind of actually hard to keep track of him, if it wasn't for his laughing. However, from what I can tell, sometimes he'll even skip the laugh track, so there's also some Golden Freddy. I'm going to talk to you about him more in Secrets and Side Quests, though. But yeah, other than that, you don't really get many characters around this whole particular thing. There's definitely some characterization here, but is it good? Yeah, it's pretty good for a minimalistic approach, that's for sure. That's all I got. Other than that, you don't really know much about the characters outside of the trailer. Bonnie plays guitar, and Chica apparently serves cake and leads to child obesity, and Freddy likes to sing. Foxy also likes to sing, however, and you will hear him in the dead of night, out of nowhere. Oh, somebody get me out of this office. Now. Well, unfortunately, if I want out of here, I have to survive the night. To do that, there are 2 blast doors on both sides. I can lock down one or both of them. There's a unique camera system that you can click up and, you know, watch the animatronics, make sure they're not too close to your office. There's a couple of blind spots that you can check by flicking on the lights outside of the doors. However, some animatronics like to skip those entirely. I'm looking at you, Freddy. I'm taking you down if I go down too. Wait, I said that backwards. Anyway, all of this sounds perfectly reasonable. You know, you got the security doors. It sounds like... Oh, wait, there's a problem. It's called the power meter. Yes, unfortunately, Fazbear Entertainment is running on very difficult times. Hence why the restaurant looks absolutely crappy. You only have a certain amount of power before the lights go out. And if the lights go out, Freddy Fazbear has a tendency to come visit your office real quickly. It's not fun. If you are not at the dot, ready to leave, by the time he's there, you're probably going to die quickly. Blast doors take up power. Just sitting doing nothing takes up power. The cameras take up power. The lights to check blind spots take up power. Everything takes power. And unfortunately, if you use too much, pow, goes the weasel. Wait, isn't that a fan game series? Nonetheless, your job is to micromanage the power, the doors, everything, and hope to high hell you survive by the end of the night. It is a very tense experience, and you're probably your own worst enemy in this whole entire endeavor. Good luck. Of course, we can't end the video there. I haven't even talked about the layout of the whole place. Yes, there's a particular layout. You can track animatronics by how they move through the entire environment, and you can basically see them all the way through. The problem, of course, being is that each animatronic attacks slightly differently. Bonnie will always go to your left side, making him pretty easy to deal with, and Chica will always go to the right. You can check the blind spots and you'll know if they're outside your door ready to attack. Foxy, well, he's a bit different case. If you don't watch Foxy enough, he has a tendency to come out of Pirate Cove, that one camera that doesn't seem to do anything the first night. And yeah, if you watch him too much, he'll also come out of Pirate Cove and attack you. If he leaves Pirate Cove and you check the hallway cameras, you'll see him bailing all the way down, and as soon as he gets out of that camera's view, you're dead. Ugh. And if you don't check it, he'll just burst through the door anyway. Your job is to check frequently, and you got a little bit of a delay, so if you see that he's gone, close the door and hope to high heck that, you know, he doesn't just burst through the door. He won't actually burst through the door if the door is closed, just to warn you. And then you have Freddy. Oh boy, Freddy. He is incredibly sneaky. He doesn't actually show up in the blind spots before he attacks you. You just hope to high heck he's not there. Thankfully, there's a laugh track that plays whenever he's moving around. However, sometimes you can't exactly trust the laugh track. And even if you can, sometimes your own nerves forget if he was close by or not. You can hear him come, you can hear him leave, but you don't really know for sure. He's a bit tricky. In fact, they all are. Bonnie doesn't like to linger around too awfully much, but sometimes Bonnie just stays almost blatantly forever in that blind spot, ready to attack. That's where some of the problems come in. There's actually some random number generated bullcrap that you got to deal with in this game. And that's where I have some problems here, because Sometimes, especially in the more difficult nights, it's all luck-based. In fact, beating the definitive hard mode of this game is literally luck-based. Like, you can do a perfect run, and if you're not lucky enough, it does not matter. You don't win. And that's probably the hardest element of the game, is dealing with the random bullcrap that you gotta deal with. Because if Chica, or Bonnie, or Freddy never leave, you gotta keep those doors down until your power runs out. And once your power runs out, if you're not at 5 a.m. looking for 6 a.m. to crop up, you're probably dead. Foxy, thankfully, never attacks at random, and that's about your only saving grace. Good luck with that one. So, you guys might recognize that I've mentioned a couple times that I'm going to talk about stuff later. Well, I guess it's time to talk about it. The secrets and side quests are less side questy and more secrety. At random times when you flick on one of the cameras, sometimes things change. For example, the hallway that Bonnie's outside of constantly, every now and again if you flick on that camera, there will be a poster of Freddy taking off his head. Sometimes there will be a poster of Golden Freddy. However, I never actually found that in my actual playthrough. Which is weird because I pretty much found everything else. When this happens, Golden Freddy shows up in your office, and if you don't completely ignore him and flip back on the cameras, he'll kill you. It's not fun. He also crashes your game, so we're not sure what the heck happened there. Is it a ghost? Unfortunately, no, it's just a hallucination. But that's beside the point. There are other hallucinations that you experience too. Like if you look at part maintenance, sometimes everything in parts and maintenance are looking directly into the camera like they're coming after you too. They don't, but it's terrifying. And sometimes you can find newspaper articles that talk about missing children, possible murder, animatronics smelling like rotting corpses. Oh yeah. More than likely, at least 5 children were murdered at this establishment by somebody. We're not sure who. And that's not all. You actually get rewards for beating this game. If you beat all 5 nights, you get an extra 6th night. Now, what happens in 6th night is everything is cranked up to maximum. It's difficult. It's hard. But if you prevail, you get a secret 7th night. And that is custom mode, where you can choose exactly how tough animatronics are. You can make Bonnie the most irritating thing on Earth, and make it to where Foxy barely even pokes his head out of his cage. You can make Foxy the most annoying thing on Earth, but the other animatronics don't even bother. And you can make Freddy the most annoying thing on Earth, and really just not like it at all. Or, you can crank up all the animatronics to 20 difficulty. This is the most difficult mode in the entire game, and if you beat it, you get a big ol' star. That's about it. That's all you get for beating this mode. Or you can use a cheat code and literally just skip it and, you know, say, hey, I beat it, even though I didn't. I'm not very good at this game, guys. Sorry. I wanted to see if there was, like, anything. No, it's just a star. That's it. That's all you get. Overall, Five Nights at Freddy's is a pretty decent point-and-click game. It's basically survival horror. You're managing aspects of the room that you're in while dealing with the animatronics that are more than likely right outside your door. Don't look. It'll kill you. Just kidding. You're probably already dead because you didn't actually look and you didn't close the doors. Oops! Sorry! There's definitely some really good aspects to the game, but there's some low points too. If you don't like the random elements of some of the animatronics and what they do, then unfortunately, this game might not be for you. It's incredibly difficult in some of the more frustrating ways. Luck-based. But for the most part, especially towards the first half of the game, where you get up to Night 5, it's actually a pretty enjoyable, tense horror experience. However, once the general horror of getting jump scared after you die wears out, well, thankfully the experience is still pretty intense as you micromanage your power supply. Is the game good? Oh yeah, there's plenty of secrets to find. All this lore allows you to make up your own theory on what happened. Until, of course, MatPat makes a game theory episode about it. Yeah. But, yeah, there's plenty to do, plenty to survive, and animatronic characters to absolutely adore.
Go for it. This isn't an obsession, I swear. Okay.
So, yeah, overall, Five Nights at Freddy's is a pretty decent experience. But the rating is a bit hard. It's a short adventure, if you could call it an adventure. And, honestly, there's not too much to it, but there's not too much bad either. Overall, Five Nights at Freddy's gets a 9 out of 10. If you guys like this episode, please leave a like, subscribe, comment, click that bell. I don't know. Whatever YouTubers do these days. Oh, and if you guys really like my content, there's some links down below. I have a Let's Play channel. I have a vlog channel where I talk about movies and anime. Well, eventually anime. I have a Twitter account. I have a Facebook account. If you guys were to follow any of these, it would make me a very happy camper. Until next time, take care, my minions. Well, besides that paycheck at the end of the game, and the extra bonus paycheck, and a pink slip. What the hell happened there? I've acquired a few items of interest. I wasn't able to get too many things from the parts and services, but I was able to collect an entire endoskeleton for research. Matched with my overall star power, things might get really interesting, but I need more. Perhaps I'll go to a different time period in this universe and, take a look and see what else I can acquire. Bye-bye.